Tonight, I finished the book Demian by Herman Hesse. It was a really remarkable book and it had some very interesting passages within it. One of the main themes of the book was the idea of coming to your own, coming of age in a difficult world, doing what you can to forge your own path. And the book is a study of that kind of process of individuation and an acknowledgement of the deep realities of the world. The book is very interesting because there are passages that describe a kind of tension between good and evil, or between life and death. These kind of binaries that we have and that we think through, as well as experience on a day-to-day basis. There's a really powerful passage that talks about the bird that's trying to be free from their egg, so that way they can fly. There's this kind of tension between the destructive impulses of our nature to destroy ourselves, as well as the desire to be reborn, to be innocent again. All of these are really lovely and powerful passages and ideas, and I think that's what makes this book, which I consider to be philosophical and literary, very successful. In my mind, it reminded me a little bit of André Gide and his book The Immoralist because it was very philosophical, but also written very well. I like the references to Nietzsche in Demian, and the references are usually they're scattered throughout the book, which is pretty fascinating. The book is indeed a meditation on good and evil itself and the darker urges and instincts that we have within ourselves. There's another powerful passage that I've been thinking about a lot as I've been thinking about our evolutionary history and my past, and it's the idea that we are just as much of the leech as well as the birds and the fish because we come from their evolutionary background. This heritage is within us because we evolved and because we have a similar origin. And I find all of that to be very fascinating because we often try to differentiate ourselves as man, as human, as ourselves, but obviously we have a much more complicated past that we inherit. And in a world of chaos, I find this very, very beautiful and inspiring. I could go on about how lovely the book is, but it's definitely a primer. At the very least, it's definitely very inspiring. It is a short book, but only about 100 pages, but it is not necessarily simple, though it is simple and it is simple through its elegance. There's a lot that I get out of this book, and the final point that I wanted to discuss about this book is the idea of change itself and how in society we are constantly changing, and how we are trying to come of age, and we're trying to understand what our path is. Indeed, we have to make very difficult decisions to be able to get to where we long to be, and sometimes these decisions aren't always what we hope for, but they happen nonetheless, because we have to choose. I enjoyed this book, and I hope that you'll check it out. This is Phoenix, and thank you for your time.